Good day. Welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Matsu Okwemitorishe, and here are the headlines. Jubilation sparks in Niger Delta as Tinubu to grant presidential pardon to June 12 heroes. Guwor pledges continued legislative reforms as assembly clocks too. Ijaws protest over poor infrastructure in Edo Community. Tinubu affirms commitment to multi-party democracy. African Music Business Roundtable to champion industry interests. Aliko Dangote to retire as DSR board chairman June 16th. US to partially evacuate embassy in Iraq as Iran tensions rise. Liverpool agree £160 million deal for Wits. Now the news in detail. A wide acclaim has been drawn from Niger Delta leaders yesterday, full posthumous pardon of Ken Saro-Wiwa and the 8 other Ogoni activists by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The president pardoned and honored them with national awards nearly 3 decades after the execution by the Abacha military regime on November 10, 1995. President Tinubu announced the pardon while addressing a joint section of the National Democracy in Abuja as part of events Democracy Day. The Ijaws National Congress INC and the Pan Niger Delta PANDEF, the Movement for Survival of Ijaws Ethnic Nationality in Niger Delta, and others hailed the president, saying the gesture would deepen the peace progress in Niger Delta. In addition to presidential pardon, President Tinubu conferred national honors on all 9 of them. Saro-Wiwa received the Commander of Order of the Niger Delta CON, while the others were each awarded the Officer of Order of the Niger Delta OON. Living honorees include Nobel laureate Professor Wale Soyinka, Bishop Matthew Kuka, human rights lawyer Femi Falana, journalist Bayo Onuaga, and the veteran publisher Sam Amuka Pemo, and who received this honor on the eve of his 90th birthday. The Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Emomotimi Dennis Guwor, has reaffirmed the Assembly's commitment to delivering quality legislation, effective oversight, and robust representation as the 8th Assembly marks its 2nd anniversary. Speaking during a press briefing at the Assembly Press Center in Asaba on Friday, Guwor expressed gratitude to God, Governor Sheriff Oboyewori, and his colleagues and constituents for their support in the legislative journey so far. The Speaker described the past 2 years as a period of remarkable progress in deepening democracy and promoting a good governance in the state. Addressing journalists, the Speaker highlighted the Assembly's major milestones, including the passage of critical laws and resolutions aimed at improving the life of Deltans. He said the House received 16 bills in the 2nd section, 8 executive bills and 8 private member bills, of which 7 were passed and 6 already assented by the Governor. Guwor listed key legislation such as Delta State Child Rights, the law, the Delta State Human Trafficking, the Delta State Electricity Power Sector Law, laws that geared towards enriching good governance, ensuring security and fostering economic and human capital development in line with the MORE agenda. Guwor also lauded the Governor for his support and cordial relationship that exists between the executive and legislative arms in the state. Guwor announced that the anniversary activities include a novelty football match between the Assembly and the State Executive Council on June 21st, and a Thanksgiving service on June 22nd. Hundreds of Ijaws in Gelegele Community, Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State, yesterday protested the lack of basic infrastructure in the oil-rich community. The protesters said there were no motorable roads, hospitals, and schools in the Gelegele community. They also issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government, Edo State government, and oil companies in the community to respond to their demands or shut down operations of all oil firms. Meanwhile, Chairman Gelegele Executive Council, Mr. Omagomi Oluderimon, said several Ijaws communities had been cut off from the rest of the state due to bad roads. It said there were no functional hospitals, adding that only secondary school in the community was an eyesore with no chairs and teachers. It further called on United Nations, the Nigerian government, the Edo State government, and the local government to intervene in their situation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reaffirmed yesterday that there is no attempt to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. Reaffirming his commitment to a flourishing multi-party democracy, it said the fear of a single-party system is premised on rumor and alarm. It said the perception that the ruling All Progressive Congress APC was scheming to dominate the policy to exclusion of other parties would never happen under his leadership. President Tinubu, the fear of opposition and other critics about likely alteration of the existing party system during his inaugural State of Nation address before a joint section of the National Assembly in Abuja. The section was attended by eminent Nigerians, including previous preceding officers of the Senate and the House of Representatives. It was the major highlight of the Democracy Day, which commemorated the 26 years of uninterrupted civil rule and the anniversary of the June 12, 1993 presidential poll won by the candidate and the default Social Democratic Party SDP, the late Chief Moshood Abiola. Now on the entertainment news. The African Business Music Roundtable, AMBR, concluded its impactful three-day summit with a resounding commitment to strengthening lobbying and advocacy for the interest of African music industry. Held from Pop Central Oz, Lagos, the gathering brought together a distinguished assembly of national and international stakeholders, including artists, record executives, policymakers, investors, government officials, heads of MDAs, academics, and media professionals. Their mission is to shape the future of music business on the continent. Throughout the event, participants engaged in in-depth discussions and strategy sections on critical issues such as intellectual property rights, fair royalty distribution, music export strategy, the interception of technology and entertainment, and the urgent need for continent-wide policies, and that support sustainable industry growth. The African Music Business Roundtable was proudly backed by Kellogg's, Guinness Malta, Munchit, Indomie Noodles, Johnny Walker, Nestle Water, and Beggars. Now on the business news. Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC has announced that its chairman, Aliko Dangote, will retire from the board on June 16th. The announcement, made through a corporate disclosure to the Nigerian Exchange Limited, stated that the decision aligns with principles of good corporate governance and succession planning. To ensure a seamless transition, the board also announced the appointment of Arnold Ekpe, currently an independent non-executive director, as the incoming chairman effective June 16th. Mr. Ekpe is to bring with him a wealth of experience, having held senior leadership roles in the banking sector and other key industries. Now on the foreign news. The U.S. government sources have revealed that non-essential U.S. embassy, staff and other dependents in Baghdad are to be evacuated from Iraq due to the highlighted security risks. Although the officials do not disclose what prompted the removal, but have been told Israel was ready to launch an operation into Iran. This was part of the reason some Americans were advised to leave the region, adding that they anticipated Iran could retaliate on certain U.S. sites in Iraq. U.S. officials have also restricted the movement of staff within Israel itself. This development comes as U.S. talks over Iran nuclear program appear to have stalled in recent days. However, U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff is still planning on holding talks with Iran about its nuclear program on Sunday. Witkoff will meet Iran Foreign Minister Abbas Arachi in Muscat. The department later said it was also restricting U.S. government staff from traveling within Israel outside the areas of Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Beersheba, due to what is called increased regional tensions. Trump also reiterated that the U.S. did not want Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. The president has hoped to strike a deal to stop Tehran developing a nuclear weapon. Now on the sports news. Liverpool has agreed a £160 million deal to sign German attacking midfielder Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. The fee includes a guaranteed £100 million and a further £60 million in add-ons. It was stated that these bonus payments would become payable if the Reds achieve a sustained level of success at elite level and would only then become a British record. Germany reports suggested that the fee might rise to €150 million, €127 million, and $172 million. The British record for an initial fee remains Chelsea €107 million, signing off Argentina midfielder Enzo Fernandez from Benfica in 2023. Chelsea also bought the Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo for an initial €100 million fee, which could rise to €115 million. However, Manchester City has shown interest in Wales, but withdrew reportedly due to escalating costs of the entire package. Now a recap on our headlines. Jubilation sparks in Niger Delta as Tinubu to grant presidential pardon to June 12 heroes.
Obodo community representatives, however, disassociated the community from the discovery, asserting that the inclusion of their name in such reports was misleading. They called on federal and state authorities to intervene, investigate the source of the reports, and prevent the continued targeting of Obodo in narratives related to oil theft in the Niger Delta.